So what is, so for agencies that offer virtual staging, what is the typical turnaround time?
It's usually between a day and 2 days.
And I think through your demo, you showed it's literally within seconds. So is that the comparison? If you are presently doing virtual staging, the first thing to consider is you can get it virtually instantly versus a day or two waiting for the delivery.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much the comparison. Yeah.
Um, we haven't talked about cost, and we'll get there. But what's the average person who's presently virtually staging a space paying someone overseas typically to stage a living room, for example?
Yeah, it's usually somewhere between $20 and $50 a picture. Depends a bit on the quality and what kind of deal you made with the designer you're using.
So let's just assume it's $24 without really doing a deep dive yet into pricing. About how much is it for virtual staging AI?
Yeah, it's typically less than $1, so like 50 to 100 times cheaper.
Could you repeat that? Because I'm a little bit in disbelief in terms of the cost differential between virtual staging AI and existing virtual staging services.
Sure. I said it's typically less than $1 on average, like 40, 50 cents, which is like 50 to 100 times cheaper than what you're paying with manual virtual staging agencies.
So a second reason to take virtual staging AI for a spin is the cost differential is frankly is extraordinary, isn't it? Yeah. How do you describe in terms of the quality of the virtual staged space by virtual staging AI versus another traditional platform, perhaps using overseas labor for staging a space?
Yeah, I mean, quality really depends. Initially, when we started virtual staging AI, the quality was definitely an issue. We obviously have a very skilled team of engineers that kept working on it over the past year. So it got a lot better. And I would say that it's better than some of the virtually staging designers overseas. Also, with the designers overseas, it depends on who you're getting. If you're getting someone inexperienced or using cheap software, then the results might not look very, very realistic, and you might have issues with the shadows, for example. And then there are high quality virtual staging designers that are based in the US that charge up to $100 a picture, and they might get you super realistic pictures that almost look like photos. But what we get as feedback from our photographers is that, hey, your virtual staging is typically good enough for sort of the use case of selling an average property on Zillow, but it's like 100 times faster and cheaper. So they prefer going with the AI solution.